So in this video, we are going to learn how to delete MySQL row from Google Spreadsheet. Let's say you have the details of your lead in your Google Spreadsheet and the same lead details are also synced and added in your MySQL database as well. Now let's say whenever you update the status of any lead as lost in Google Spreadsheet, you want to delete that lead from your MySQL database. So let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. As this automation works, whenever we are going to update the status of that lead in Google Sheet, automatically the details of that lead will be sent to this automation workflow in Pabbly Connect. Then we are going to check the status, and if the status is lost, then automatically we are going to delete the row with that lead's detail in our MySQL database. Now, if you want to learn how you can set up this complete automation all by yourself, for that you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, this is my Google spreadsheet in which I'm adding the details of my lead and maintaining the status. And also this Google Sheets is synced with automation with my MySQL database. So whenever we add the status of the lead and update the status, the same changes are reflected in MySQL too. But now I want that whenever I'm going to select the status of any lead as lost over here, I want to basically delete the details of the same lead or the same row from our MySQL database. Now we are going to use Pabbly Connect to automate this complete process and connect our Google spreadsheet with MySQL. And using Pabbly Connect, we are going to create an automation workflow. But before that, to get started with Pabbly Connect, you will get a free sign-up link in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can set up your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. After creating your account and coming to this dashboard, we have to create an automation workflow over here. For that, just click on this Create Workflow button and give this workflow a name. Let's say I'll name my workflow as Google Sheets to MySQL. You can basically give any other name as per your choice. Then just select the folder of the Pabbly Connect account in which you want to set up this automation and click on Create. And as you click on Create, here you can see the workflow will open in front of us. In this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's start with our trigger step. Now the idea here is first we have to connect our Google spreadsheet with Pabbly Connect in the trigger step, so that whenever we are going to update the status of any lead, the details of the same row of the same lead will be received inside Pabbly Connect. And this automation workflow will trigger, it will start. Then after that, using this Pabbly Connect automation, we are going to set up a filter condition on the status. If the details or the status of the lead whose details we have received inside Pabbly Connect is lost, only in that case the automation workflow will be continued further. If the status of the lead is anything other than lost, in that case, the automation will stop and we are not going to delete the data of that lead from our MySQL database using this automation. And after ensuring that the status is lost, in the next step, we are going to delete the data of the same lead of the same row from our MySQL database. So let's see how it is done. Starting from a trigger step, in Choose App, we will search for Google Sheets. Just select it. After selecting Google Sheets, in Trigger Event from the drop-down, select the trigger event as New or Updated Spreadsheet Row. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we have to add this webhook URL in our Google spreadsheet, and to do this, we have to follow the instructions given below over here. Just copy the webhook URL from here and go to your Google spreadsheet. After coming to Google Sheets, just go to Extensions, Add-ons, and click on Get Add-ons. After clicking on Get Add-ons, we will reach to Google Workspace Marketplace. And here in Search app, we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. We'll just search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks over here. And here you can see Pabbly Connect Webhooks. This add-on is already installed in my Google Sheets. You just have to install this same add-on into your own Google Sheets account. And after installing it, just refresh your Google Sheets once. This is a very important step. After refreshing your Google Sheets, once again we'll go to Extensions and you can see Pabbly Connect Webhooks. This add-on is now added. Just hover on it and click on Initial Setup. As we click on Initial Setup, this dialog box will appear in front of us. And it is basically asking us three different things. First one is Selected Sheet, second one is Webhook URL, and third one is Trigger Column. Now it is most likely possible that in your Google spreadsheet, you might have created multiple sheets over here. So the data or the status update from which particular sheet we want to send to Pabbly Connect, we have to select that. Then here in the field of webhook URL, as you can guess, we have to enter the exact same webhook URL which Pabbly Connect gave us. Just copy it from here and paste it over here. After pasting the webhook URL, it is asking us for the trigger column. Now you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? So the trigger column is basically the last data entry column of our Google Sheet in which we are entering any data. So column F is the trigger column, is the column in which we are going to basically update the status. So I'm going to select column F over here as trigger column and then click on this send test button. As we click on send test, it is showing us that the test data is sent successfully. This means the data of very first row after headers, the data of row number 2 is now sent to Pabbly Connect. And here in our Pabbly Connect workflow, in the triggers tab, you can see we have received the response. And in this response, you will see the details of the exact same row, row number 2. Here you can see we have the same status which we have added in row number 2. We have the trigger column. We'll scroll down. We have the row index, that the data of which row is received inside Pabbly Connect. Then after that, we have the mobile number, last name, first name, email, and company as well. So basically the data of that complete row. And here, this is how we have successfully completed the step 1 of setting up this automation. We'll go back to the Google Sheets. We'll just click on this submit button, and then it is showing us that the setup is configured successfully. After this, once again, we'll go to extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and this time we are going to select this option of send on event. By selecting send on event, we are telling this Google Sheet, we are telling this add-on that whenever a new row of data is added or the status of existing lead is updated, then immediately, instantly send that data to Pabbly Connect. And this is how the step 1 is completed now. After this, let's move to step 2. In step 2, we are going to set up a filter condition in this automation to ensure that only the leads who are having the status as lost, only those leads will be deleted from our MySQL database using this automation. So for that, we will scroll down, come to this actions tab, and here in choose app, we are going to select filter over here. After selecting filter Pabbly in action event, select filter values and click on connect. As you click on connect, the next thing it asks us is to select the label. Now here, if you click on this drop down, here you can see a list of all the responses of a new lead or updated status which we have received from Google Sheets. Out of all of these responses, we have to select this label of status over here. Then the filter type will be equals to and the value will be lost. So in this way, what we have done, we have created this filter condition that if we get the response or the value of status label as lost, only in that case the automation will be continued further. If we get anything else other than lost as the status of that lead, in that case the automation will stop here and will not be continued after this. After setting up this filter condition, just click on save and send test request. And because the status of this lead, the status of the lead in row number 2 is lost in our Google Sheets, it is showing us the condition is true. So the step 2 of setting up this automation is also completed. Now let's move to the final step where we are going to delete the row of this lead from our MySQL database. For that, just click on this add action step button over here, and here in choose app, we will search for MySQL. Just select it. After selecting MySQL in action event from the drop down, select the action event as delete rows. Then just click on connect and select add new connection. Now here we have to basically connect our MySQL account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the database name, username, password, host, database name, and port. All of these details of our MySQL account. So let me just enter all of these details of my MySQL account. Okay, so I have entered all of these details of our MySQL account. Now let's click on save. And as you click on save here, you can see our MySQL account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, the first thing it asks us is the table name. That in your MySQL database, it is most likely possible that you might have created multiple tables. So in this dropdown, you will get a list of all the tables which you have created. Out of all of this, the data of a new row or the lead data from which particular table we want to delete. We have to select that. So I have created this table named as new leads over here, from which basically I want to delete the details of the lead. So I'm selecting this table over here. After selecting the table, in the next column, it is asking us where. So using which particular column, we want to basically search for the user, search for the lead and delete that leads row. We have to select that. So all the columns which you have created in this table in MySQL, you can see all of these columns in this dropdown. So what I want to do, I want to basically search for the leads using the email address. So whatever email address of the lead we are going to have in our Google Sheet, whose status we have selected lost, using the email address, we are going to search for that lead in our MySQL table. And after that, we are going to delete that particular lead. So I'm going to select the column name in where clause as email over here. Then the operator we have to select. So in this dropdown, we have the operators as equals to, does not equals to, less than equals to. I'm going to select the operator as equals to. And here in the field of value, we have to basically enter the email address of the lead whose status we have selected lost. So we have received all of these details from our Google Sheets in our Pabbly Connect workflows trigger step. So here from the trigger step responses, what we have to do, we have to basically add this response of the email address of the lead to this MySQL database action step. And to add the trigger step responses in this action step, we are going to use a process called mapping. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field of value, and here from this drop down, here you can see a list of all the responses from previous 2 steps. Out of all of these responses, from Google Sheets trigger step responses, select the response of email and it will be mapped. After mapping the email address, it is asking us for the limit. So I want to set up the limit as 1 over here. I want to only delete 1 row at a time using this query. So after setting up this action step, just click on save and send test request. And as we click on save and send test request, here you can see we are going to receive some response over here. And the response is received. And this response shows that the row which was having this particular email address, the details of this lead over here in our MySQL database is now deleted. I'll go back to my MySQL database over here. Currently, we have this user over here with the same email address. But if I refresh my MySQL database table over here, then you can see that that particular row with that leads detail with that email address is deleted. So this means the automation workflow which we have created using Pabbly Connect is working perfectly fine, and we have successfully set up this automation. Now after this, what we want to do, we want to test this automation workflow once. For that, I'll go back to my Google spreadsheet and I'm going to change the status of another lead as lost. So let's see, we have this lead named as test dummy over here. So from this drop down, I'm going to select the status as lost over here. Currently, we have this particular lead named as test dummy in our MySQL database. But because we have selected the status as lost, using this automation, this particular row or this particular lead will be deleted from MySQL. So I'll just refresh this page to check. And yes, here you can see that instantly within seconds, that lead was deleted. So we have tested this automation in real time and it is working perfectly fine. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing. You'll find the clone link of this exact same automation workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can just clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and start using this automation for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can just do it for absolutely free.
So if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, or if you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can always write us in the comment box below or email us at support@pabbly.com. Also, you can post your queries on our forum as well. And if you want to check the pricing of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this link. So this is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.